Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Nathan back with another video presentation. I hope each and every one of you are doing well, staying safe. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody had a great day. Tomorrow, thank God, tomorrow is Friday. The weekend is here. Tomorrow is April. I cannot believe that. We got through February, March. Now we're in April of 2022. Wow. Years is going, it's starting. Years already gone by fast. We're already 4 months. Tomorrow we'll be 4 months in the new year. Uh, Before we get into the video, there is a few things I want to say up front. Like I stated, welcome. This is episode is this now? 16, 17, excuse me. Episode 17 of the podcast. Um, Before we get into it, there are some things I need to say up front. There will be another video after this. It'll be Final Four breakdown for the women. Tomorrow I will go live with the Final Four for the men, and after that, I will recap all eight games, and then after the national championship for the women, there'll be the WNBA mock draft 3.0. That's the last draft. That's the last mock draft before the WNBA draft, which is April 11th. Um, there have been some guys that have declared for the NBA draft, so stay tuned for that. I think that'll be an interesting mock draft. I do have two videos that I will have up opening day for the Orioles and the Nationals. I believe it's the 7th. So probably Monday, you will see two videos that will start. That'll be the expectations for the Orioles and the Nationals. That will probably end season 6. And opening day will start with season 7 of the podcast. Can't believe we're going to season number 7. It's crazy. So definitely be looked out for that. You have the Orioles, Washington Nationals. I already have my idea what the records are going to look like for both teams. So be on the lookout for those. I will have season 6 uploaded on Spotify via Anchor. Again, I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. So be patient with me if I want to have that uploaded. But in this episode, we're going to just talk about Lamar Jackson for the past few days. This narrative that's come out about him wanting to leave Baltimore. I feel like it needs to be addressed. And I also want to take this opportunity to kind of address some of the issues I have with, people, whether it's on media or Twitter or whatnot, with this idea. Sean, what's going on, sir? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. This narrative, salary cap doesn't matter. It's and let me start off the video by saying this. And I want to say this for the record. Lamar Jackson is a complete football player. I believe he is a generational talent. Coming into the league, I already knew the things that I heard. Should he move to wide receiver? All that stuff. I see a guy who's each season has shown progression. The narratives that we've consistently heard. He can't beat teams throwing the ball. He only beats you one way. And if you're watching the games, he's been killing that narrative for pretty much since he's come into the league. Now, we all know what Lamar Jackson is. Historically, and it's funny, it's interesting that there are people that don't know historically the Baltimore Ravens were always a running team. He just happens to fit the system. But if you've noticed, last year, I got to give some credit to Dan Orlovsky, and I looked this stat up. He was second in yards per carry behind who? That bad man in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Then I'm also looking at the fact that Baltimore was 13th against with throwing the ball, and they were third in rushing. Didn't have a healthy offensive line. His number one wide receiver was out for the first 5-6 weeks, and his two running backs, his J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, were out for the season. Your running back consisted of Le'Veon Bell, Latavius Murray, and Devontae Freeman. We were 1 point at 8-3 with Lamar Jackson starting. There were games where the Ravens were down, and he played a part in bringing us back. High example, the Indianapolis Colts. Heard people say he can't beat if the team's down, he can't bring the team back. Killed that narrative. Minnesota Vikings, same thing. But I say all that to say this. I think it's been really interesting to hear Raven fans to the point where they've now given up on Lamar Jackson because he hasn't come to the negotiating table and we haven't gotten far. Well, if you look at the team last year, and there was a stat, and I couldn't believe it. It was where within the injuries of the season, the Ravens had the most injuries. They were in the top right quadrant of that chart. I couldn't believe that. If you think that Lamar Jackson could carry that team last year with those injuries, I think you're crazy. But also, too, let's get it out the way. Lamar Jackson, in my personal opinion, I believe has taken a big chance on himself. I think he's strictly focused on trying to win a championship. And I can't get mad at him. Joe Flacco did the exact same thing. Because guess what? My dad used to tell me all the time, well, if we weren't going to sign him, somebody was going to. I believe that he will come to the negotiating table. Steve Bisciotti has said it. John Harbaugh said it. Eric DeCosta has said it. They're ready when he is ready. Just not a month ago, you're hearing, well, he's crazy not to have representation. That he needs to have a lawyer and not his mother represent him at the table. Now it's he will be a Hall of Fame agent if he comes up with this deal by himself. So not having representation, yes, that is bothersome to me. But what happened to patience? It's interesting to me to see, particularly with following the Ravens free agency. Unfortunately, we lost out on acquiring the services of Bobby Wagner. And people obviously went to social media and are in their feelings that he took a $50 million deal for 5 years. Historically, the Ravens are going to pay you what is based on the market. They're not going to pay for you one penny or one less. They said, this is the market. This is what we think is fair. Don't like it? Sorry. Because the Ravens historically are always good in the draft. Some draft picks, hit and miss. But historically, the Ravens always find gems in the draft. Now, everyone said without not having Bobby Wagner or Eric DeCosta isn't doing anything. When I'm sitting here thinking okay, you just signed Marcus Williams, Morgan Moses. You can also, too, if you think you can take that money and you can, unfortunately, find guys that are cheaper. Maybe you could say, hey, Calais, let's run it back. Justin Houston, let's run it back. This idea that we can just sign players left and right like it's Madden, that's unrealistic. Because let me ask you this question, right? Last year, the last 2 seasons, really, if you've been paying attention, the New Orleans Saints have been operating in red, even with the salary cap going up. So if salary cap doesn't mean anything, then how come the New Orleans Saints didn't this past season make the playoffs? And guess what they had to do? Guys had to walk because they couldn't pay everybody. You can't pay all these guys. It would be amazing if Baltimore signed Bobby Wagner, the center Trotmont, something like Trotter from Cleveland, Tyrann Mathieu. That would be wonderful, but that's not realistic. Because look at the Kansas City Chiefs. If they signed Tyreek Hill, the Kansas City Chiefs at other positions would be stuck. Guys would walk. Latavius Sneed is a good example. What the Chiefs did was smart because guess what they can do now? They can they can re-sign the guys that are necessary at certain positions that they feel like, okay, this is the guy we want to invest in. And then they can find gems in the draft. Because you sign Tyreek Hill, you think it's just easy. It's in the long term, it would hurt the Kansas City Chiefs if you had a contract with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Now, I've been very clear. I've been a big advocate of quarterback shouldn't be your highest paid player. I think there should be salary caps. I think it should be a certain amount of money per position. Now, let me get off the soapbox with that. Steve Bisciotti, just the other day, came out and he was, pretty much it was honest. He said that the Deshaun Watson situation, it complicates the quarterback market because just a couple weeks ago, he signed with the Cleveland Browns, gave him a 5-year deal, $230 million guaranteed, $80 million more than all the other quarterbacks. Let me just run that off for you real quick. Patrick Mahomes is making 45. Josh Allen's making 43. Matthew Stafford's making 40. Dak Prescott's making 40. Aaron Rodgers is making 40. $80 million more than what any other quarterback, the previous NFL record for fully guaranteed money. Now, Lamar Jackson's coming into the fifth year of his rookie contract. His cap hit is $23 million. Okay. Now, that I'm bothered with that because his cap could come down and it would help the salary cap because you could use that extra money to fill in certain positions. When you sign players, ladies and gentlemen, your cap goes down. And you try to, especially on how the contract is. Some guys do like a front-loaded contract, and then as this contract, the salary cap gets bigger. So pretty much, this is what he said, and I quote, "I'm trying to answer that when I had a reaction to it, and I was like, damn, I wish they hadn't guaranteed the whole contract. I don't know that he should have been the first guy to get a fully guaranteed contract. To me, that is groundbreaking. It'll make negotiations harder." He also continued to say, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to play that game, We shall see. If I was bogged down negotiations with Lamar, then maybe I would have a quick reaction to that news. Now, obviously, people took what he was saying with those comments and completely flipped him by pretty much saying that now he wants out of Baltimore. And I'm trying to figure out, where is this coming from? Because the owner's now come out and said it, the GM's not said it, and the coach. They're waiting for him to come to the table. Even Steve Bisciotti said that he is focused, Lamar Jackson is focused on trying to win a championship. That's what Steve Bisciotti said. He even said something like he doesn't think he's worthy, which I don't believe that. But if I'm Steve Bisciotti, okay, I'm sitting down with him. I'm saying, look, here's a blank check. We're not going to pay you 1 cent less than what Deshaun Watson got. Because I think what Lamar Jackson, he is going with his style of play at quarterback. He changes the game when it comes to negotiating a contract for quarterbacks.
Guaranteed.
Now, in the article that I read, this was Steve Bisciotti. But it's like, and I quote, but it's like Eric can't keep calling him and say, hey, Lamar, you really need to get in here and get this thing done. That's not a GM's job. Kirk Cousins did it that way. What if Lamar says that? I'll play on the 5th year. I'll play on the franchise. I'll play another franchise, and then you can sign me. And I quote, and that gives me 3 years to win the Super Bowl, and you can make me a $60 million quarterback because that's where I'll be 4 years from now. That might be the case, but I don't talk to Lamar. It's not my role. I don't know the answer. See, and then we're creating this narrative is now created that he wants out. Now, he's right. I can't make the guy come yo man. When are you coming? We in a contract to negotiate. I can't force him to say put pen to paper. I can't do that. Instead of just saying, well, okay, he's just being patient. He sees maybe they've sat behind closed doors and they said this is the number. We don't know that, but we can only assume that we know what Lamar wants. He made it vehemently clear he wants to stay in Baltimore. I don't understand these narratives like that come out and saying that he doesn't want to be in Baltimore. I don't understand that. I feel like let's just have patience, have faith. The man will sign the contract. I'm not panicking. I'm not worried one bit. John Harbaugh got a 3-year extension. Congratulations to him, well deserved. But Lamar Jackson, if he just hypothetically said, let's just hypothetically, okay? Let's just say hypothetically he goes, I kind of want to move on. Yeah, that would hurt the ball. That would hurt the Ravens for sure. But you don't know the kind of conversation they've been having behind closed doors. You don't know that. And also, too, maybe he's like seeing like, I kind of want to see what you guys are going to do in free agency. Are you going to fix this offensive line? Are you going to try to look for another dynamic piece? Which, in my personal opinion, they don't need. I believe you have the offense to compete. It's up to Greg Roman, which I've been hearing all season. Again, not a Greg Roman apologist. He needs to open up the playbook more. And I agree with that. I don't think drafting a wide receiver should be the main focus. The main focus, particularly with the 14th pick, offense, left tackle, left to right tackle or center, or somebody on defense. Particularly defensive end, edge rush, or safety. Maybe corner. And corner. What more do you want? I'm not going to rush the guy if he's not ready to come to the table. What I've been seeing videos of him out there putting in extra work to get better for this upcoming season. He's on a mission. He made it clear when he was drafted. He said the Ravens are going to get a championship out of me. And I personally believe Lamar Jackson has taken a risk on himself, and I believe he's going to be the trailblazer that changes the game when it comes to contracts. But I think it's really, really disrespectful because of the season that we had, and then on top of this, the off season where everyone's in their feelings that, we couldn't get this guy, we didn't get that guy. Now it's just get rid of we can trade Lamar. Like, why? Why? So, and again, and it goes to begs the question. So, you're okay with Tyler Huntley? No disrespect to Tyler Huntley. You're okay with him taking the reins of this offense? Who went 1-6 as a starter? You're okay with that? You're okay with here's a guy that with Lamar, 35 wins under his belt as a quarterback, who again we were 8-3 with injuries. He didn't have, and he himself got hurt. Could you imagine a healthy offense, healthy Lamar Jackson? And he was on pace to what I think for passing and rushing, he was on pace to break a record before he got hurt. It's just funny to me. It's just funny that we're in our feelings. Well, we didn't get this guy, or Lamar Jackson's wasting. He's wasting our time. Trade him, and then when we trade him and Tyler Huntley doesn't pan out, then what's the excuse? I mean, y'all let me know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't think it's a conflict at all. I think he's taking a risk on himself. He's taking a gamble. And I encourage every free agent to do that. Look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill sacrificed championships for money. He took a gamble on himself. Devontae Adams. It's business. Why can't Lamar Jackson do that? And again, we don't know behind closed doors. Does he have an agent that we don't know about or a lawyer we don't know about? You don't know that. For all I know is he has a lawyer and he's pretty much saying, hey, I trust you, take care of it. I'm just saying. Let's kill this narrative that he's unhappy and he wants to leave Baltimore. Because where is he unhappy? Yeah, there's been some frustrating moments, absolutely. But the success that we've had is in part because of Lamar Jackson. We take Lamar Jackson off this team, what are we? Said the same thing with after we won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. After he won, guess what happened? Well, Anquan Bolden left because he didn't want to negotiate his contract. Torrey Smith left. And guess what that team was? That 1 year where we actually could have made the playoffs, but everybody got hurt. Flacco, Steve Smith. I don't want to bring up that year. That was painful. I'm just saying. I'm getting tired of this stuff like this. Just for more people, these talking heads on TV and radio to just because they have nothing else to talk about. Me personally, Cleveland, I believe that they shot themselves in the foot giving Deshaun Watson that contract. I do. He's proven. I'm a fan of Deshaun. I think he's a good quarterback, but he's not proven to me that he is a proven winner. He has not shown that. I mean, he did get to the playoffs, but it's not consistent. And then think about who he's playing for. He's playing for a team that's obviously another quarterback carousel. Well, Baker Mayfield wasn't the end. Well, Baker Mayfield, there were so many issues with Baker. We're going to move on from him. And he's still on the team. I thought Baker would have been traded by now. And even though I've been hard on Baker Mayfield, I'm not a Baker Mayfield apologist, but was Baker Mayfield really the issue? Do you look at the injuries, inconsistencies they had? So, but giving Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed is the answer. So if the Cleveland Browns don't make the playoffs, and let's just say he doesn't perform well, guess what happens? That's egg on Cleveland's face. And Cleveland doesn't have, and for the next 4 years, they're stuck because they don't have draft picks. So they are in the win. They are in a win now situation. If the Ravens did that with Lamar Jackson, the Ravens would be stuck. Again, I want Lamar to have a contract. I want him to go to the negotiating table. But when he's ready, they've made it clear. They're ready for him. They're waiting for him to come to the table. They're not going to force him to sign something. They're not going to force him right now. His focus is on winning a championship. I ain't mad at you. But enough is enough. Raven fans, let's calm down. Let's bring it down a little bit. Simmer down. Relax. I think it's real disgusting that we got people going after the general manager's wife on social media. I just think it's really weird, this Madden mentality. We could just sign guys, and then hear the logic of, well, we signed this player and then we cut this player, that player. It makes sense. Really? I think we need a book on NFL salary cap for dummies. Because we need to learn how that works. Because salary cap is real, whether we want to accept that or not. Because I've seen teams where they can't, where they've spent all the money, they don't win. Guess what happens, y'all? They got to break that team up and start all over again. It's fact. Look at what's this here? A new really clip. I mean, y'all let me know your thoughts. Am I wrong for what I feel? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think Lamar Jackson is taking a risk on himself, getting focused, getting back healthy, getting back on that field, and trying to compete for a championship? I don't think he has cold feet going to the table. I think I believe, in my personal opinion, he's taking a chance on himself, and I like it. But I would like to see some representation with him, helping him through this process. Because this is a good lesson for young guys coming into the league. You got to have an agent or a lawyer helping you with this stuff. It does matter. But and also too, don't let the media and don't let other people tell you, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Let's calm down, relax, and let's leave it at that. Now, as far as the Ravens go, I think their free agency is not over. The world's not over. They can still sign some guys that are cheap. Even though, again, I am one of those, I don't believe signing guys that are 30 or older to big contracts. No disrespect to Bobby Wagner. I believe he can play at an elite level. I am not going to give him $50 million. That's just not happening. I can find somebody younger and cheaper to pay. That's just fact. And also, too, ladies and gentlemen, we have 9 or 10 picks in the draft. So you can find guys in these drafts and go, oh, okay, he would definitely contribute. But come on, yo, we got to do better. I love the Ravens flock, but I'm disappointed to really hear some of these Raven fans come out with that kind of stuff, and hearing that kind of stuff in the national media. But to sit there and to give up on Lamar Jackson, we can trade him for picks, and he's holding us back. I don't want to hear that. I don't. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It really is. So, I mean, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the whole thing with Lamar Jackson? Do you feel like he'll come do you feel like he's taking a chance on himself? Do you think what do you think? Because I don't see him coming to the table right now. Probably at the end of the season, after the end of this season. That's where I'll see it. But until then, I'm not worried. I'm not going to panic. I'm leaving it at that. But with that being said, the next video, this is going to be the Final Four preview for the women. That'll be up in just a few minutes. So Again, please like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next episode.
Skip. Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand how these dudes put themselves in this situation. I truly do not understand it. That's the kindest way I can put it. I think to go any further than that, Skip, I might lose it. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna lie to you.
Well, let me pick up the ball and try to not run with it, but walk with it.
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
Yeah.